But you turn this one on, start it, and then flip these other 48.
Yes. It's so old, Joe doesn't know what to do.
Is this it?
Yeah, the square one.
There we go.
Oh, you like that?
So like that you're incorporating carpentry into your...
Yeah. Wood. Ripping wood grain is on the rap song, so I figured I would just do that. It matches the steering wheel, sort of. 80s. Everyone hates my steering wheel. I love it. YouTubers, and welcome back. And today, as promised, Mr. Sparkles is going on the dyno. Joe got 1,000 subscribers. He is now part of the YouTube partner plan. That is a partner, what do they call it?
Partner some shit.
Partner, well, they give you money. Probably not enough money for what the work you do unless you get a lot of views, but at least it's something. So the last motor that was in here, the LT1, it made 320 to the wheels. And it has the exact same heads that I home ported. The only thing that's really changed is the rotating assembly. It went from 11.5 compression up to like around 12.0 compression. I don't think the rotating assembly being a stronger rotating assembly will actually cause more power, but the 1 point might, or sorry, half a point might. And it's got, really the only thing different is the cam, springs, and intake. The last motor had a 320 to the wheels and it ran 11, best run in a 1140 at 117. This one ran 1080 at 122. So whatever horsepower you think it's gonna make, comment below, but don't cheat. See what you guys think it's gonna do, but I'm telling you right now, it's gonna make probably less than you think. So I wouldn't go too high. It's comfortable in there, right?
You want to drive this thing or you want me to do it?
I'll let you drive it, it's pretty easy. All right, so you wanna know how it works real quick?
Sure.
This is the fans, my light switch. It has not failed since like 2006.
What's this one do?
That's my fuel pump. I want a really good one on the fuel pump. That's for the nitrous though.
Yeah.
This is, I actually have a relay on the fuel pump here. So I did that one right.
You got too many switches and shit.
And this is ignition right here.
What the hell is that?
That's my electric evac pump. It's the poor man's crankcase evac.
You got like a hummingbird feeder in there.
Oh yeah, it's a smog pump off of like a Camaro and those other vehicles. So yeah, I guess we do a motor pool first, right?
Yeah.
There's no rev limiter, so you're gonna have to let out.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pretend it's a Honda and hit 10, 11,000 RPM. That's
no, let's not do that, please.
So much better when I don't have to do this.
It might be something that I can put a little cheater or something on this. All right, so 29 degrees, which I know it wants more. It made more than I thought. That's why I always put my expectations low, Joe, so I'm not disappointed.
I did the same shit. My wife tells me that I'm negative, but I just call it being realistic.
Yep.
And I forgot to hit record, so I'm off to an awesome start.
Uh-oh. All right, so with 2 more degrees, what do you think?
Man, I don't know these things too much. Let's say it picks up, I don't know, 15?
15?
That's good. Now, see what it does when
my AFR is right there where it is on mine, too. Same exact AFR, yeah.
That's good. 12.6.
That's usually where I'd like to be. I don't know if it'll get more power up above that or not. But
nice and flat for what it is, too.
Carburetor, baby. Who needs EFI?
Me? I need EFI.
I know. One day I'll spend it. But hey, I told you it cleared up after the second hit. No smoke.
Yeah, that's the first one. I looked in the rear view.
Oh yeah, it's pretty pitiful when you first started up. Yeah. Leaky guides. That's what happens when you don't get your valve guides redone when you should. But after that, it's fine.
Oh, I was looking at overlaid with the.
Yes, it didn't pick up much. I don't think it'd pick up much more than any more timing.
Nah, it's done.
Yeah. So 386. That's more than I thought. All right, so we're gonna try just taking the top of the filter off.
You're talking, not me. Kind of really weird.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. Yeah. I mean, this same setup on a 700 horsepower, like big block, only took I think 7 horsepower out of it with this. So I'm thinking it might not do something, but I do. It might not. But my theory on this, when you're going down the track and you got a whole bunch of wind coming over it, it's just causing turbulence in a low pressure zone. So I think at the track, I think it's better to have a filter on just because you won't have that fighting effect. That's my guess. I have absolutely zero, test or any type of sound data to go off that, but that's just my theory. So this is interesting. Joe just said, you look at the air fuel, went from 1240 to 1270, 1280, and it made no more power. And he was like, well, I guess you know, I won't make no more power if you lean it out. All right, so what I'm doing now, I'm putting in new plugs of what from past experience, which ones are the leanest, which is that one. Put a new plug right there. I'm gonna put new plugs right here in 5 and 7. So after this nitrous hit, we're going to pull those and check them out. And hey, a little fat.
11.2. 11.1 on top.
You can't put weight on this.
So yeah, it probably like when it came, it probably was just filling the yeah, my first hit.
Typical.
One
Yeah.
side or the other.
Doesn't have very long, so it definitely a little rich still.
Yeah.
So that's just
Lean it out just a hair, and
I think I'm gonna lean it out with more nitrous.
I like that idea. That's fine.
Yeah. Why am I gonna lean out with fuel? So it looks like a 70. We're gonna go up and lean it out some.
$11.2 basically.
Yeah, it's definitely a little fat, but
$11.3.
I mean, it may be fat, but the plugs look lean, but I think it's just because we're only in it for so long, so it's really hard to get a good reading on the plugs when you're in it really quick. 'Cause I remember I was on the street, like if I would hit it really quick and then look at the plug, it looks like I turned it out. So there's the same way I put them in. So I would have to hit it like, you know, stay in it longer, and then I actually would see what was going on with them. So I guess it's hard
full
to
pass
say.
down the track. I think, you know, we've done countless cars reading plugs on the dyno, and so you can slow the ramp rate down on the run. You can do multiple gears on the dyno, but I think getting in the ballpark on the dyno, and then obviously when you go to the track, just pull plugs, verify, make everything good. I mean, we all know this nitrous stuff.
Yeah.
The weather changes 1/4 of a degree, and next thing you know, you got to change everything all over the place. So
That's true.
You'll be
That's
pulling
true.
plugs all the time, but it's. I think with that air fuel, if you leaned it out a little bit, it'd probably pick up a little bit of power, but it's risk versus reward. If you pick up 4 horsepower, was it worth it? No. If it picked up 40, is it worth it? Yes. But you know, I think this is definitely a good starting point. The big thing is the graph's nice and smooth. When the graph, you know, if your horsepower graph look like this, then you know it's unhappy. So it's about as smooth as it can get, really.
Like I was telling Joe earlier, for some reason, like on the dyno, you know, it's like a controlled environment, and like everything's like very easy to work out. I'm like nervous as crap, but if I go down the street where I could like die and end up in the woods, I feel perfectly
That's
calm.
because you got more stuff to concentrate on rather than worrying about this.
Yeah.
That, and like when you're inside of a building, everything's twice as loud, and you're watching
That's true.
things move. That from that, you know, you can't see things when you're in here.
Very
And
true.
it just, for whatever reason, a dyno pull, when it's your car, feels like it's 15 minutes long. But, you know, for me, it's do it all day, every day. So
I understand that.
the nitrous stuff's always the first time you spray a nitrous car for the day. Like you're always like
Oh, that's definitely
waiting for everything to come apart. After you get that first one out of the way, then it's not a big deal.
I know exactly how that is. Like the moment I hook this up, and like you're like, oh, 1,000 things can go wrong, and you kind of like, and you hit it like, okay, I didn't hear any knocking or pinging, and it didn't sound like it was like unhappy, so I guess we're good. And then you really start to settle down and concentrate on your tune after that.
Yeah, and then on roller dynos too, like some of the bigger power stuff, as soon as you lay into it and the nitrous comes on, it just blows the tires off and the straps get all sketchy. And
Yeah, that's why this is like very awesome right here.
yeah, this thing's awesome for nitrous cars.
I guess the cool thing too is here, if it somehow breaks the bolts, which it never will, it'll just fall on the ground and not like, you know, run everyone over in the room.
Yeah, and keep a jack under the rear too, so that way if something was to happen, then you got another thing to prevent it from falling. And then the bolts basically are just there to prevent it from going this way. There's dowel pins, like solid stainless dowel pins that go in. So
It's definitely the nicest dyno, and the fact that you can see your converter slippage is incredible. You can see right here. Well, I'll let you explain it.
just go through. So yeah, here on this one you can see the difference, all motor and nitrous, the difference in RPM between engine RPM and axle RPM.
Gotcha.
And then down here, just same information, just throws it a percentage difference. So,
And this yellow one is the nitrous run?
yeah, the blue
Yeah, you
is
can
the
see
motor
it.
run.
Yeah, as you can see, it's a little less efficient, but that's the same thing with turbo cars, right? The more boost I throw at, the less efficient the
Yeah,
converter is. Yeah.
So that'll kind of progressively go down, and then obviously it can progressively go up with RPM.
So I'm at 84% efficiency, it looks like, as opposed to 91 before. 88, 89. So at the top, it's pretty efficient.
Yeah, and then there's, you know, I think there's, depending on when you let off, it catches a little bit of you being off of the throttle. So you'll see like the red one's a little different than the yellow.
Yeah.
You gotta, like, again, if you change the ramp rate, these numbers will fluctuate a little bit. So we try and match the ramp rate to roughly the power level and like what it's gonna do at the track.
Yeah, so I saw they put it at 600, so I guess you were right in the ballpark. So we never went to 600, so we're good.
So if you, you know, if you had EFI or a data logger or something, and you could actually, you know, that in high gear at the racetrack that you accelerate X amount of RPM per second, like we can program that directly into this and make it exact. But
oh, that's pretty awesome.
So if it's a car that you've already been racing, you can set it up exact. But if it's a fresh car, then you kind of got to use, you know, generally speaking, if you make X amount of horsepower, then I'll use this ramp rate. And that's why I always ask people before I get started, like, how much power do you think it's going to make? And a lot of the nitrous guys, like, pick up these motors from their engine builder, and they told them it was on the engine dyno, and it's too consistent. Everybody gets a dyno sheet that says 1,000 horsepower. Like everybody, not everybody makes 1,000 horsepower on the dot. And then you put it on here, they're expecting, you know, obviously it's chassis dyno versus an engine dyno, so you expect a little bit less, but all these 1,000 horsepower cars makes 500 or 600 on motor, and the math doesn't add up no matter which way you try to do it. So you got to be real careful with the dyno sheets.
Definitely one of the nicest dynos I've ever seen. It is. Hey, if you guys are in the area, I know a lot of you guys come from all over the place to imports versus domestics, World Cup finals, and if you need a dyno guy, this is definitely the man right here.
We're probably, what, 15 minutes from MIR?
Oh yeah, 15 minutes. So maybe Cletus will come up here. Probably not, but we'll hope. That'd be nice if we get him on our channels. Anyways, guys, hey, thanks for subscribing. I'm gonna get this guy to the track, and hopefully I don't blow it up at the track. I'm just happy I didn't blow it up here in the dyno. Until next time, keep on wrenching. Don't forget to subscribe, and peace.